What's going on, guys? GlazedAndConfused here, bringing you another deck profile. Today we're going to be looking at Baby Raccoons. This was a deck that gained popularity around the time that Shadow Specters came out, and it kind of fell off since then. I don't see a lot of people talking about it anymore. It's not tier 1 or anything, but it's a lot of fun to play, and it can be very versatile in regards to the plays that you go for. You have a lot of options to set up. So, let's get started. First off, we play 3 Baby Raccoon Ponpoko. This card is going to allow you to bring one of your beasts to the field, but in face-down defense mode, which means you can't go for a first turn rank 2 or something like that. But what you can do is use this card, Baby Raccoon Tantan. When that card is flip summoned, you're allowed to special summon a level 2 beast type monster from your deck, except Tantan, which you'd never want to go for anyway. So, you're going to summon your Ponpoko, set your Tantan. More often than not, your Ponpoko will get destroyed, but it comes at a good cost, because then you'll have your Tantan out for next turn, in which you can flip summon whatever you need, whether that be a card that helps you remove a problem monster, or something like the next card, which is Valerifawn, Mystical Beast of the Forest, which is a key card in this deck. Not only is it your beast level 2 Earth Tuner in this deck, but it also helps you summon. You can discard a card and then target a level 2 or lower beast type monster in your graveyard and summon it in attack or face down defense mode in the case of Baby Raccoon Tantan. And since this is your tuner in this deck, this is the card that's going to be setting up a lot of your synchro plays. In fact, most of them. We only play one other tuner in this deck. This is a card you would really like to see in your opening hand, or even late game when you have your graveyard's already filled up. It's a good card for swarming the field. We also play 2 Kalantosa, Mystical Beast of the Forest, and this one's pretty simple. It's another level 2 beast, and when it's special summoned by the effect of a beast monster, such as Valerifawn, you can target a card in the field and destroy it. Pretty simple. 2 Wind-Up Kitten, another level 2 beast, and this is basically your removal card in the deck. You can target one monster your opponent controls, return that target to the hand, and it can only be used once while it's face up on the field. That's not once per turn. That's only while this card is face up on the field. So, 1 Tree Otter. This card is going to allow you to boost your monster's attack. And 1 the Fabled Cerburrel. When it's discarded to the graveyard, you can special summon it, and that's basically what Valerifawn can do for you. But you have to be careful. Even though it is a tuner, it's a light tuner, not an earth tuner, which some of these monsters need. And we play 1 Explossum. And that's simply because you need a level 1 beast to go into your Naturia Beast, which is one of the boss monsters of this deck. You could also go into a thing like, hold on. Let's see. You could also go into Key Mouse, which is an option for you. But more often than not, you want a non-tuner monster, which is why I've gone with Explossum. But you can use Key Mouse if you so choose. So, onto our non-beast monsters. We have Beast King Barbaros, which is a beast warrior. And it might be weird seeing this card in this deck, but given the right situation, it can be absolutely amazing. One of our main cards is Obedience Schooled, which allows you to summon 3 level 2 or lower beast type monsters from your deck. No questions asked. And if you have Beast King Barbaros in your hand, you can tribute those 3 monsters on the same turn and destroy all cards your opponent controls. And if not, you can also normal summon it, and it's a 1900 attack beater, which is not bad by any means. But if you can get off the right combo with Obedience Schooled, this card can really ruin your opponent's field and cripple them for the rest of the game. We also play 2 Mythic Water Dragon. This is one of the easier ways to summon Leo, which is another boss monster in this deck. We'll get to that later. But if you control an earth monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only do that once per turn, so there's no rank 8 synergy in this deck. But if you have Valerifawn on the field, which is a level 2 tuner, and you summoned your Mythic Water Dragon using its effect, that's an instant Leo. Pretty simple. And for the last monster, we play 1 Junk Synchron. So, moving on to the spells, we have 1 Raigeki, it's a staple. We have 2 Ayers Rock Sunrise, which is an amazing card in this deck. You can target a beast type monster in your graveyard and special summon it, and it can also lower your opponent's monster's attack. 1 Soul Charge, In case a lot of your monsters get sent to the grave, you can go off on a huge play with that. 1 Upstart for consistency. And this is the card I mentioned earlier, 3 Obedience Schooled. This card, if you have it in your opening hand, you could be set for the rest of the game. It helps you completely own the board. If you control no monster, special summon 3 level 2 or lower beast type effect monsters with different names from your deck. Their effects are negated and they're destroyed during the end phase. You can only special summon beast type monsters for the rest of the turn though, but more often than not, you're not going to care. What I usually do, if I open this on my first turn, I choose Explossum, Baby Raccoon Tantan, and Valerifawn. And those 3 together can make a Naturia Beast, which negates your opponent's spells effects, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But that's how I like to open the game, and try and cripple my opponent from the very start. 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, and 2 Supply Squad, because your monsters are very weak, and oftentimes they'll have to be left on the field, so the draw power can be very helpful. That's it for the spells, but we have a lot of traps in this deck because, like I said, we have a lot of low-level monsters, and we need to protect them. So 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Mirror Force, 1 Burst Rebirth. This card allows you to get your Tantan's effect off. 2 Mistake. There's no card in this deck that allows you to add from the deck to the hand, so there's no reason to not play Mistake in this deck. And this can completely shut down some people's decks. They can scoop immediately if they see Mistake and they have no out to it. 1 Quantum Cat. This allows you to have a free level 4 beast. We don't play any level 4 beasts, so if that's what you need, you can have that. And it has 2200 defense, so that's obviously helpful. 1 Grand Horn of Heaven, and 1 Solemn Warning. And that's it for the traps, and that's it for the main deck. So let's move on to the extra deck and show you basically what this deck can do. We play 2 Naturia Beast. Nat Beast is an absolutely fantastic card in this deck. In any deck, really. I think this is one of the best synchro monsters in the game, period. When it's on the field, you can send the top 2 cards of the deck to the graveyard to negate the activation of a spell card and destroy it. Which means that if your opponent is playing a spell-heavy deck and you have a lot of cards left in your deck, it's going to be a long duel for them, or maybe a short duel. 1 Naturia Barkion, which is basically the same thing as Beast, except it negates traps by removing from play 2 cards in your graveyard to negate the trap. If you have both of these on the field at once, your opponent can basically do nothing. They can only use monsters. And it's an absolutely insane lock. But getting that set up to where you can have both of them on the field is pretty tough. So more often than not, you're going to have to try and figure out what your opponent's playing. Is he playing a spell-heavy deck or a trap-heavy deck? And once you figure that out, you can pretty much shut them down for the rest of the game, assuming you can keep these 2 on the field, or one of them. Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree. But Leo, the Keeper of the Sacred Tree cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects except during main phase 2. 1 Crimson Blader. I've never really brought this out in a duel, but it's nice to have. 1 Black Rose. There's an interesting combo you can do with Black Rose. Basically what you do is you summon your Naturia Beast, shut down your opponent on their first turn from using spells. Then on your turn, after they've set up their board, you summon a level 2 tuner like Valerifawn, go into Black Rose, nuke the field, and then activate Ayers Rock Sunrise and bring back your Naturia Beast. It is a very, very lethal combo if you can pull it off, and that can pretty much just end the game at that point. 1 Goyo, 1 Armades, and 1 Catastor. And we do play one more synchro. It's Underworld Fighter Balmung. And basically when this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target a level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon it. On to the Xyz, we only play 5. 2 number 64 Ronin Raccoon Sandayu. This card is going to be your main level 2 arsenal. When it's on the field, you can detach an Xyz material to summon a Kagemusha Raccoon token, and that token will gain the attack of whoever has the highest attack on the field. That's not original attack, it's the very highest attack on the field at that time. And then while you control another beast type monster, which the token is, Ronin Raccoon can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. 1 Downward Magician, and this is basically when your Ronin Raccoon runs out of Xyz materials. 1 Sky Cavalry Centuriae, I'm not sure if I say that right. This card is situational, but it can be very good if you're going up against a boss monster. And 1 Cat Shark. This was the card I mentioned earlier when I talked about Tree Otter. This card can... I've OTK'd with it a couple times, simply because you can just double the attack and defense of a monster. So say you double the attack of a Ronin Raccoon, that gives it 2,000 base attack, it summons a token, and then now they both have 2,000 attack at the time. There's bigger combos you can do with it, but that's how I like to use it, and it can be pretty helpful. So that's the deck. It's really fun to play, and it's pretty simple. Once you just play it a couple times, you'll pretty much get used to it. The main combo you should know is Obedient Schooled into Explossum, Tantan, and Valerifawn, and then you Synchro Summon into Naturia Beast. That's my favorite combo in the deck. That's probably the best one. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck. I'm trying to upload more frequently now. Also, on my duel videos, give me a heads up on which you guys prefer. Do you guys prefer the faster, more duels kind of video that I do? Or would you prefer me to just talk over a slower version and explain what I'm doing? So let me know. Let me know what other decks you want to see, because I'm just trying out new ones right now. I have Dino Mist deck profile incoming in real life, so I'm pretty excited about that. That'll be my third in real life deck profile. So stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.